So this is this f of x thing is just like saying y equals, right? So if I were to say y equals 3 over 2 times x plus 4, we would say that that's a mathematical relationship. And then after we looked at the data, we would determine that it's a function. But here, when I write this in function notation, and the function notation is pronounced f of x, we're really saying that this is a function of x. So just by seeing this notation, I know that it is a function of x. I don't have to run a test. Some things are functions just by looking at them, and this is a function. So nothing really changes other than how we write this. We don't put a y here. We put f of x. Now, what's different is when I evaluate it. So if I were to evaluate f of -8, right, these are all of our x inputs. I'm going to input -8, -4, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go wherever there's an x, I'm going to plug in -8. In other words, I'm going to say 3/2 times x, but instead of putting x now, I'm going to put -8 plus 4. Okay. Now, 3 times -8 is -24. -24 divided by 2 is -12 plus 4. So when x equals -8, my f of x equals -12 plus 4, which is -8. So that means that I should have the point -8. In other words, I should plot -8, -8. This point right way down here. That should be on the graph. Okay? That should definitely be on the graph. Okay? So then, all right, if we're going to graph this, then let's just go ahead and put it in our graphing calculator. So turn your calculators on, and let's plot these points. So I have, I made this a little bigger because I'm going to say y equals, and I'm just going to say 3 divided by 2 times x. And what was the rest of that? Whoops. Plus 4, right? So plus 4. Now, if I hit second graph, then I get my table of values. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to figure out what's the value when x equals -4. Well, when x equals -4, my y value equals -2. In other words, f of -4 is equal to -2. That means to plot that point, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 1, 2, right? So this point here was -8, comma, -8. This point here was -4, comma, -2. Then to do the next one, I want to know what f of -2 is. I just look on my calculator. When x equals 2 or -2, my y value equals 1. So I'm going to say 1. So I'm going to go -2 up 1. That's the point. -2, comma, 1. Next, I got to say what is f of 0. And f of 0 is 4, I think. Yeah, 0 is 4. And then you just complete it. So 0, comma 4. And that's all you would do is you complete that, right? What's f of 2? Well, f of 2 would be 7. So I'm going to go over 2 and up 7. And that's it.